So having practiced step 3, I'm going to go ahead and erase the extra stuff we have here. That is, we figured out what SC is, so we don't need this. We got the actual formula there, and we figured out Z, so I don't need this. Which means now what I really need to do here is talk about step 4 and step 5. The really nice thing is step 4 and step 5 are the same for any hypothesis test we run, which means step 4 with my p-value, all I need to pay attention to is my alternative hypothesis. If my alternative hypothesis has a greater on it, then I'll be shading above. If my alternative hypothesis has a less than, I'll be shading below. And if my alternative hypothesis has a not equal to in it, then I'll go ahead and I'll shade the most extreme end tail, and then I'll double it to get the other. So exactly the same once again as a single proportion hypothesis test. For step 5 in my conclusion, I always compare my p-value to my significance level, which we say is 0.05. As a reminder, 0.05, called my significance level, I use an alpha to represent it. There are two things that can happen when I compare my p-value to 0.05. One is it can be greater than 0.05. If my p-value is greater than 0.05, then I fail to reject my null hypothesis. If I fail to reject my null hypothesis, that means there is not enough evidence to suggest whatever I'm trying to prove. Remember, that's true because this is saying that the probability is greater than 5% that all of this could happen if my assumption was actually true. So maybe there's a 10% chance it could happen, or a 20% chance. But if there's a 20% chance this could happen if the guy's innocent, we're probably not going to send him to jail. Which is why, once again, p-value greater than 0.05, we fail to reject. If my p-value is less than 0.05, then I reject my null hypothesis. This means there is enough evidence to suggest whatever I'm trying to prove. So greater than 0.05, fail to reject, not enough evidence. Less than 0.05, reject, there is. And for step 4, as a reminder, if I have greater than, I shade above, less than, I shade below, not equal to, shade the most extreme, and just double the value we find.